Okay, hi there boys and girls, and welcome to the channel. Okay, I'm Vimes177 Gaming, and here we are for TipTop EU Open Scrims. 4 games for you this evening. Our first match tonight is on Erangel. And I'd like to introduce you to my co-host and commentator for the evening, DH Jammy. How are we doing, Jammy?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Looking forward to 4 excellent games of gameplay.
Absolutely.
Now, this is the bit where you have a minor heart attack. But
yeah, no, touch wood, everything seems to be working fine. Game 1, so no technical problems, which is nice to see. Okay, we've got, there's our flight line. We're going from Primorsk up to Severny. So, yeah, probably going to see some people exit early and head over to Mill Base, Jamie.
Yeah, it's a long jump to Mill Base, but a lot of them will you'll probably get 2 or 3 teams will normally go there. But we've got the main clusters around sort of Primorsk, Pochinki, School, Rozhok, Severny, and then across to the west to Georgia Pole. You may have some that will grab vehicles and head over to the east of the map as well.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. We're going to follow down, or potentially follow down, CN1, one of the teams from TipTop, our host for this evening. And yeah, looks like we got a couple of early exits, 23, 25. Looks like they're heading over towards the island.
Yeah, so they may head over towards the western bridge and that western perimeter road. Maybe try and grab vehicles.
Grab a vehicle and
yourself.
Yeah, grab a vehicle, get in there fast.
Yeah, Team 21 are the only ones that have dropped down to Primorsk, which is quite surprising. But they've got the play of the map down there.
And looks like our host from CN1, they're looks like they're going just to the north of Rozhok here.
Yeah, so I'd imagine they're probably going to head over towards Yasnaya, maybe try and get a vehicle, and head over towards Yasnaya would be my guess.
Okay, we're going to get straight into it with team number 25. This is another squad from TipTop. TipTop Black. And okay, let's have a look at the situation. So yeah, they did actually extend onto the island. Looks like 23, who is flighting. They dropped a little short, Jammy. So we've also got some guys from SD not too far away from this.
Yeah, and what's interesting, we've seen the first zone where that's going to be, and it covers the flight path. So there won't be too many teams that have got any sort of particularly hard rotation to do.
They've got quite a split going on here, though. The guys from TipTop.
They have, and they've got the other team, SD, down on the western edge of Millie Base there, in the little compound either side of the road.
And
a few shots going in.
I don't think our friend here realises that he or she may well be running into a squad with nothing more than a bird on her shoulder.
Well, I think actually what we've got is we've got a scout, a very unprotected and brave scout, but just checking and going back to the squad. So obviously seen some movement, just to make sure that the team is actually there.
Let's check out our fellows from SD. So they're already getting loaded up. And oh yes, I think do I spy a DBS up close and personal?
Yeah, UMP and a DBS.
Yeah,
I'm pretty much opposite ends of the damage spectrum there.
Yeah, yeah. But when you absolutely unequivocally have to settle it very quickly with hardly any body armor, DBS can be a very good friend early stage.
Absolutely, and I think actually this player's got a level 3 helmet and has just been marking up a level 2 for his teammates.
So I noticed a lot of people. Some people have actually been carrying them through later game because, as in a secondary slot, when you're getting house-to-house fighting, some people are finding it very effective, even when teams are level 3'd up.
Absolutely, especially when you've got players in the team at this level where you've got defined roles. You know, you'll maybe have 1 or 2 with a sniper rifle, and the others may take double ARs or something similar. So to have maybe an AR and a DBS in late stage, you could really do some damage.
Yep. I feel that may well have been my loadout of choice at some point. Okay, let's check up at North George. Looks like we got squad number 16 not too far away from 10. That's who's 10? That's Roz squad, I think. 16 is HH, High Hopes. And a little bit of separation. They'll certainly be aware of each other's presence, I would have thought.
Yeah, they would have seen them floating. And also, they probably play against these players, so they'll know that there will be other teams that have a similar preference on drop location as well.
So, yeah, all pretty quiet so far. Let's have a quick look. 17 and 14 also pretty close. Yeah, it looks like it's kicking off over there. So let's quickly get over there. So here we are with squad number 17. That's T3.
Yeah, in fact, it looks like they've done the damage on Team 14.
They've certainly taken one kill, potentially dealing with a scout there, I'd imagine. Or no, the other guys from 14 now. Are they?
It looks like the player from Team 17 is the scout actually.
Yeah,
he's about to come into a bit of hurt,
and is about to get bounced. Get into some up close and personal work here, but yeah, great rotation in there with the vehicle. Great reporting back, and unfortunately, our friend Muzzy from T3 taken out pretty ruthlessly. And
good defence, but with no helmet, that was just
no, absolutely not. And unfortunately, these guys have dropped as a 3, so that puts them down to a duo very early stage of the game.
Yeah, that puts them under a lot of pressure now. We have seen it work, particularly when we've seen some solos managing to get to the later stages of the game.
And CN1 potentially getting into it around Novo, but looks like one of their members may well be having a scout on the bridge.
Yeah, I think they're actually trying. Yeah, it looks like they're going across by boat. Maybe trying to head round. I think maybe there's a player on a boat trying to get round and scout the crates from the water side, and perhaps they're trying to surround the team that's there.
And here we are with Ange from CN1. Looks like 3 in front of her now. Teammate's not too far away, but not looking to get too aggressive on it at this moment in time. Potentially looking to consolidate and rotate.
Yeah.
And yeah, just making sure they've got their vehicles. Yeah, they've got 3-4 vehicles available to them here, so making absolutely certain of that.
Yeah, and hiding them behind buildings as well, making sure the other squad can't just blow them up for them.
Getting a bit more looting going on.
No helmet still, and only a level 1 vest.
But you've got Zohan not too far away here.
Yeah.
But
no, maybe they weren't rotating in by boat after. Oh, actually, yeah, you can see a boat in the distance has been beached.
So that's the magic of your new giant screen, is it, Jemmy? I couldn't see that.
Yeah.
How'd you expect some teenager on a phone to see that?
Well, they'll have better eyes than me for a start.
Well, it
balances out.
That's true.
An old gitmo like me needs a big projector screen.
Absolutely. Don't even say a word. All right.
I mean, Team 19 there in Yasnaya. They've got Yasnaya to themselves, but they're covered by the red zone.
Yeah, but jump from building to building should be okay. Now, we potentially got a 3 squad happening just to the west of Pachinki. Looks like a couple of guys rotating. Looks like some people are actually heading centre zone pretty quickly, Jamie.
And we've seen that be a feature of these scrims. Whichever map we're on, strong early rotations, establishing a defensive point, and it's worked wonders in a lot of these scrims.
Okay, I feel some of these people are not prepared to talk their problems out. They seem to want to shoot at each other.
Yep, it's a sad day, isn't it?
Right, so there's a knock established on one of the players from CM1. Now the 4 players are starting to come together. There was a little bit of a separation initially, but they are now starting to come together. However, Zohan looking to have a flank here. We'll just have a look. However, no. Ange was sweet to that one, so not only Zohan knocked, but quickly thirsted and taken out. So great early work from Team 23. They're establishing the knock from flight, but that's actually now cost them a player.
Yeah, so they're going to look to rotate. Now they've got the blue zone pushing them as well.
So, well, I mean, are we rotating or are we medding up or?
I'm not sure because Team 25 they can regroup. They've got plenty of vehicles.
And they were very good about stashing their vehicles in a safe location next to the road, so they can rotate out quickly if needs be.
Yeah.
Okay, we're just going to quickly check our map here, see if we've got anybody getting close. To 16 and 10 up in North George, still dancing around each other. The situation in the middle here. So yeah, people being fairly conservative early game, Jamie.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of teams still looting. We saw some that have still got no helmet or a level 1 helmet. And yes, okay, you can still take on a gunfight, but you want to be well kitted if you're going to have to. So, I mean, Team 19 rotating now from Yasnaya, but there's still one left in Yasnaya in the blue. So most teams are fairly well set.
Yeah, and looks like our friends from 23, they're going to drive around the south here and potentially hit the western bridge rather than the eastern bridge. And wow, that's a zone shift, Jamie.
Absolutely. Just commenting on Team 23 there, it's a very good tactical decision, that is. Yes, they're going to spend longer in the blue and it's going to start hurting, but it's only phase 1. And Team 25 knew exactly, if they were going to rotate around the northern side, Team 25 had them, they could gatekeep them very, very easily. That's a very good tactical decision.
Interestingly, the guys from SD, squad number 20, down on mill base, also between these two squads, they may well have the potential to throw a spanner in the works. So we'll just keep a look on this map. Sorry for a lot of map watching at the moment, but if people ain't fighting, there's not a lot else to look at.
No, and see Team 25, they're not using the roads. They're rotating around on the very edge of the coast, just to avoid anyone that is in the centre of mini base. Okay,
let's jump up to squad number 12 up in the north, and I feel Siren may well support this team, Jamie. The name of the team is Snitch Ravenclaw.
Oh, so it is. Yeah, sorry, I was just getting the team list up and it delayed. Yeah, I think that's going to be her favourite.
I think Siren would support that. So they're rotating away from the guys from squad number 18. That's Arsenic Esports. So yeah, very, very quiet early game, Jerry.
It is at the moment. I mean, they are starting to congregate centre zone. When the people are rotating into zone, it seems to be more. They're quite spread out at the moment. But yeah, that centre zone is starting to get a bit busy. And we saw in a previous game last week on Erangel that you don't necessarily need hard cover in the building for cover. We saw the eventual minutes in the Erangel game.
Yeah, and it looks like our aforementioned friends of Snitch Ravenclaw getting into it with the fellas from Seven Adams there, and they've managed to get a knock on one. And at this moment in time, there's only one Snitch player up and running. It looks like they've jumped as a 2, these two. So that's going to be difficult, especially going up against a team of like Seven Atoms, tend to be pretty aggressive anyway.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge effort here.
Putting in some good rounds with the DP though. I feel this probably isn't going to end well. Here come the nades. And there we go. They made pretty short work of that. Big ask from those two getting into it with Seven Atoms. Unlucky rotation, but well played, guys.
Yeah, and it was unfortunate they just chose to swap guns just at that moment.
I don't think that was going to be the deciding factor, to be honest.
No, you're right. Definitely right.
Oh, dear.
I wonder if there's going to be any bridge camping on the western milli base bridge. We've got Team 23 one side, Team 25 the other, and Team 20 about to drive over the bridge.
Okay, we're here with team number 21. That's Eagle Company. Looks like they've been getting into it. One knock already been established.
And it looks like it might be a defensive job from Team 17.
Well, 17 of course. No, that's it. Yeah, 17 of course were already a player down because that was the some of the action we covered earlier. It was their scout getting wiped, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there was a great nade there just to finish off the last player.
Yep.
Yeah, so
and it looks like we're getting northern edge of mill base. And well, we got a slow-mo knock there. I'm sure it didn't feel slow for him, but
no. So concentrating on the team coming over the bridge there, and then getting third party by the Gen team, Team 15. So we've actually got, what, 3 teams fighting here.
And we're here with Jen, and they've certainly managed to put the hurt into 25, but that's Indra getting some rounds from the side from squad number 20, the guys from SD.
And they got Team 20. They were the ones that are in Millie Base, so they're going to be very well kitted. They're going to have some decent loot from Millie Base.
So here's our general situation. We've got these 3 teams all shooting out north of the mill base bridge. And these guys certainly coming under some pressure now. Yep. CN1 certainly taking lots of hurt there.
Yeah, Anne's trying to do a good covering job there, but just not close enough to be able to help out immediately. And then they're all getting third party by Team 20 as well.
Although putting in some good rounds there.
Yeah. In fact, it looks like Team 15 have been wiped, and we've still got Team 23 on the bridge.
And they're going to have the blue at their back. Now, it's only phase 2 of the game, so it shouldn't hurt too much, but they're not going to want to stay here for too much longer. And the guys from SD still laying in some rounds.
It's going to be interesting to see what Team 23 do about getting over that bridge. They know there's people all over them.
And 23 certainly coming under a great deal of fire as they come across that bridge. One of their members has been knocked, and it looks like potentially they're getting out of there and leaving them.
Yep, Team 20, so Team 23 go from Team 25 to Team 20, and I think they might have actually taken them down. They've certainly taken one, and I think they may have taken both.
They're just showing the 1 kill so far. But yeah, there was some
great. Sure that box is looted.
There was some great third-party work there from the guys from SD, but our guy CN actually doing a great job. That's doing a great job. They've picked up 7 kills now. These guys. So now then, is he going to take the chance and try and go and get his knocked teammate?
I think he might be. No, the teammates managed.
I think the teammates dropped off the cliff deliberately, didn't he? Give his mate some cover. That's actually very, very good play there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of danger with the red zone here, so they might want to try and get under the bridge if they can. But it's very clever play to come off the cliff. Okay,
so we're down to 48 players, and we've got another very aggressive zone shift. This time to the north towards the Gatka Hospital area, Jamie.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're starting to get congested in the southern part of that zone as people rotate in.
And here we are. We've got about elements of 4 different teams all fighting around this area. Come on, graphics, do your thing. I know there's a lot of players.
Your ping's not enjoying these players. We've still got 48 left, 16 teams.
So we've got squad number 18, that's Arsenic Esports. We've also got 7 Atoms, and we've got Aries from CN1 sort of jammed between the middle of them there. And looks like CN1 have actually taken a bit of a thumping, but Aries may have a look here.
Got good eyes on him.
Certainly
perhaps
remember
a little bit, but at this level you don't want to be just firing wasted shots.
No, I seem to remember a couple of weeks ago we covered CN1 and Aries was playing, as I recall, played rather good games.
Yeah, was it CN1 held that brilliant defensive position in the trench by ruins.
Yep.
So he's used to holding a defensive position.
Let's have a look at what Anger is trying to potentially get a shot with the Car 98.
So as you say, we've got 4 squads here, so this is getting busy.
Switches out to the Scarwell and puts the hurt on and manages to establish a thirst. That's great work from these guys. That's 3 kills now. Yep.
And it also meant that Aries was faced with only 1 player pushing, not 2. And Aries managed to kill that second player.
So we've still got the potential for lots of teams to come together here.
Yeah, they're starting the push on Aries now.
Okay.
So we go 1 to the window.
Aries goes for the window there, doesn't manage to quite get out, puts the great work in there, managed to get a knock, but taken out by 7 Atoms on the high ground with a great overlook there.
Yeah,
but now with the guys numbers from B4V. They're getting into it. That's big, isn't it? Yep, team big.
Yep.
So phase 4 of the game. We're down to 37 players left alive. 12 teams still contesting. And yeah, B4V have got to make it into this circle, and I can't imagine Big are going to make it easy for them.
No, some good work with the B28 there. Sort of a double whammy, because it doesn't want to blow the vehicle, because although that could potentially kill the other team, what it would certainly do is provide cover.
So jumping in the vehicles now, going for some fast rotations.
Yeah, so the blue will start pushing them, so they've got to take that risk in a minute.
Let's
the other two players are pushing though.
Let's have a look at Danny Boy here, perched behind the vehicle. Now, not always a good idea to be so close to the vehicle when it's not blown.
No, but he is behind the wheel, so they won't be able to see his feet.
Out goes the nade, and oh yeah, that put some hurt in. Took some damage back for it though. And Manish over there from B4V, he's taken quite a bit of damage. And does look like, here we go, the other guys now from B4V also joining this, coming through the blue. So Danny Boy here may well be facing 4 players.
Yeah, so he's trying to get some damage in on the rotating player. Gets the nade ready. Little welcoming party for the push.
Yeah, nice nade down the side there. I'd be tempted to jump in that vehicle, I think.
Yeah. So they're well below the ridge line there. And CM1 Ange is coming to join the party as well by the looks of it.
CN1 putting some work into the guys from 7 Atoms here, and we got what, 4, 5 teams all contesting this small area south of the circle, Jamie?
Yeah, brilliant. That's the with a hard rotation, forcing people to come together in a place they might not want to be.
And the guys from 7 Atoms are getting absolutely pincered here from 2 different flanks. They're really under it, and I think that's
4 or 5 teams here.
So it's only Cheaton who's on his feet. He's doing his best to get the smokes out, potentially get the res on his teammates. He's not great in health himself.
No, he's going to have to med up here, but he's in a very open position. He hasn't got the smoke cover. I don't think he can get up to his teammate either.
There's basically action all over this zone. We're going to go and check out the guys from squad number 7. They seem to be getting into a right bun fight over here.
Yeah, it's the same as when we get a coastal finish. Because you've got that expansive water, it just cuts out a huge area of the game zone.
And that looks like Cheaton has just been taken out by one of the guys from RS there. We've got B4V not too far away. CN1 also contesting this.
So it looks like we've got a lot of solo players still. Just trying to hold off and get the kills that they can.
And yeah, there's our next circle.
Yeah, very open area. By the looks of it. So we've got teams trying to contest for that high ground, which could be absolutely vital in this final zone. Looking down onto that field.
We'll click quickly into the guys from squad number 9. Potentially, now they're still outside the circle. They've got team number 10 not too far away from them, but there's gunfire all over this small area of zone. We've still got 22 players all fighting this out, and we are in phase 6 of the game.
So they're trying to keep the car protected, keep it in the smoke until they need to go, and here we go, they're going to go for the push.
Right, so in we come. They're going to draw a lot of fire doing it. Let's see how this works out for these guys. We've got a drop coming down. I don't think anybody's too worried about that right now. And we're going for a hard push straight into the building.
I thought actually there was someone in that building. They must be next door. Unless they took the player out. They're cooking a nade, getting ready.
And that is RS Pussy taken out. Let's check out Big Nobody, maintaining a very low profile. There is a sole remaining player. Ange coming into it, coming into zone. Very nearly taken out.
Yeah,
But does manage to make the edge of zone, but in a very difficult position here between two squads trying to get the meds in.
I mean, we're using spectator mode and we're struggling to see where everyone is. It's so fast paced. Ange is actually in the next zone, though. It might work out lucky for him. Team 9, Team 7 going at it over the two buildings. We've still got a couple of squads that are not even in the zone yet. They're going to try and push in. So we've got B4V on the edge of zone, which means they're going to have that high ground.
Ange looking to third party the hell out of the people who are still fighting their way around inside those buildings.
Yeah, doing a great job. 10 team kills and 4 solo kills for Ange.
Manish also got sights coming through the doors there. And our friends from squad number 7, that's CRB, they're coming under it. Yang doing his best to get the res on his teammate. And we're now into phase 7 of the game.
Yeah, so these guys fighting over the buildings, but they're not in zone. That hard cover's not in zone. The zone's actually at the top of the hill, where B4V and CM1 Ange are currently holding.
And that looks like the guys from GC taken out. So we're down to 7 players. 3 teams still contesting. And you have to say 7 have got, well, you have to say B4V really do seem to have it here, putting in the hurt.
Yeah, definitely.
They've still got an intact squad. And they've got zone. This is going to be very, very difficult for anybody else. So we're down to 5 players left alive, trying to put the hurt on Ange, and yeah, the guys from B4V take it.
Yeah, so having that high zone, that high ground in the zone really, really helped.
Absolutely stunning work from the guys from B4V work. Their great elevation, great zone control at the end, and they take the chicken dinner. So B4V are our winners of game number 1. They have racked up 9 kills. In second place, CN1. Very good game for those guys. Disappointed to come second, of course, but Ange really up against it in the end. They rack up 12 kills. And in third place, that's CRB, and they rack up 3. So in our top 3, Ange would be the individual kill leader, but Rain Lang doing well also with 5. We're just going to check down the rest of the scoreboard, see if anybody else matches or beats Ange's performance of 6. We'll just have a quick look down. And yes, Iris Pussy, who was involved in some quite decent gunfights around the phase 6-7 phase of the game, also picking up 6. Well done indeed. And I doubt we're going to get any more of that down at the lower end of the scale, but we will check for you. No, so it looks like 6 going to be our individual kill leaders, with Ange and Pussy sharing that, and CN1 actually the individual squad kill leaders with 12. Okay, boys and girls, that was game number 1, Erringle. We're just going to take a very, very short break, and myself and Jamie will be back in just a few minutes for a bit of post-game analysis and our thoughts on game number 2. So back with you soon. Bye for now. Okay, hi boys and girls, we're back, and yeah, I don't want you to put your spoiler alert in the chat for, dude. I deliberately waited until the game was over streaming before I hit return on that one. Okay, so okay, don't have Jammy at the moment. Hopefully, we'll get him back in just a second.
Apologies. Back now.
No worries. I timed it right. What are you giving me spoiler alert for, dude? I mean, don't get me wrong. I get it because I've done it before.
Yeah, that's right. It was you're a few seconds early, but that's all. I thought it was actually went out for longer than that.
Oh yes, of course. Well, I was watching it live, and as soon as I saw it live, it'd go to the black screen. Then I hit it. So I might. Okay, I'll hold me horses next time. All right, dude. God, okay. Everyone's a critic. Unbelievable. Hey, I bet Gary Lineker doesn't have to put up with this shit. Okay, I'm just going to go through the details of putting details to get into room number 2, and we'll discuss our thoughts on Miramar in just a moment. But yeah, Jamie, just give us a quick run through of that game.
Well, it started off with some good tactical action over by Novo Crates, with one team rotating out. Unusually at this level, they used one vehicle for the whole squad. The squad, the 3 that were left, to rotate out across the south of the island, making sure they didn't get caught by the other team in the north. A lot of action around that western Millie base bridge, but unusually not a lot of bridge camping as such. But we saw 2 lots of third parties on there, and then just a crazy finish. I mean, we struggled with spectator mode to call it and to see where everyone was. How on earth those players, and some of them obviously didn't come away with it, how on earth some of those came with it, but numbers in the end, Team 5, B4V, the numbers counted.
Yeah, I mean, certainly we saw a couple of instances of that during the game where you can't at this level you can't really mess with numbers. It's I've seen it done, but not very often does one player take out a whole squad. But you have to say that I mean, as well as not only having the numbers, B4V controlled the high ground when that fight was going on in the buildings below, and controlling the wider zone incredibly well in phases 7 and 8 of the game.
Yeah, I mean, they were watching what was happening. They took shots when they saw someone, when they could get the shot. But because they were up on the high ground and everyone else was fighting in the buildings or fighting in the field, they were conserving ammo, they were conserving meds, and also they had all 4 players. None of them were getting shot. Ange from CN1 was doing a great job, 6 individual kills for his team out of the 12 they got in total. And most of those were when he was a solo player. But what he was doing, he was taking opportunities. So he didn't go up against. He probably knew where B4V were, but he also knew they were a full team. So there's no point in just opening fire when actually you've got some relatively easy pickings down in the buildings and down in the fields. So when it came to it, yeah, the numbers counted.
Yeah, the 2 teams that were battling out in the building. I mean, ultimately none of them got out, did they? Very difficult for them. They've got a team in the opposite building who they're exchanging nades with, they're exchanging fire through the windows with, and of course then you've got B4V on the high ground sniping through the windows as well. Both teams, and the Blues starting to push, and they've got to rotate. I mean, there's only so much that anybody can do at that point.
Yeah, but that gunfight between the 2 buildings, neither team was going to give an inch. They were both pushing, they were both nading, they were both defending well as well. And in the end, it just came down to a gunfight. And then, as we saw, when players that did win, they tried to rotate out, but just got caught by the players on the hill. And even when B4V couldn't get the player, CM1 Ange got him at the top.
Yeah, Ange took another kill late game, didn't he? Yeah. She, I honestly don't know, but my apologies, Ange, whichever. It was. I mean, it is a bit of a theme at this level. You do get some early contacts, but people are looking to rotate out, and you get to phase 5 of the game with 45 players still running around. It's very, very challenging, but we shall do our very best for you now. Jamie, we are
Yeah.
looking for starting game number 2 very shortly. We're going to be on Miramar, and I know we've done this a few times in commentary, but yeah, what are your favourite maps this one?
It is. I love playing on Miramar. It just suits my gameplay, which is sort of mid to long range.
What's that,
Uh,
hiding somewhere and shooting from a long
yeah,
way?
I want to
That's
be
what,
able to
yeah.
shoot people like an absolute coward, but they don't even know where I am.
Yeah, what's wrong with it? Get into a gunfight. What's wrong with you, man?
Can't measure the distance in 3 figures. What's the point in even playing the game?
Yeah. Well, as long as those figures are in inches, mate, that's how I like my gunfights. Oh, dear. Okay, looks like we've got a full lobby, Jamie. I know we had a couple of people not in game number 1, but looks like we might have a full lobby of 80 players this time, which is always great to see.
Brilliant to see. Nothing. Yeah, we want to see full lobbies, and also it means you've got more even gunplay. So if one team's dropping with 3 players, then they're already at a disadvantage. So
yeah, we did see that a couple of times in game 1. So now everybody's up to full strength. So no excuses if you lose your gunfight now, boys and girls.
Yeah, and Miramar is probably the most important flight line. Because of the size of the map, and there we go. Pretty much everywhere is going to be in play somehow. You might have to rotate with the vehicle, but that northeast to southwest going right through the middle of the map.
And I mean, if people are feeling brave, hot drops to a fast drop to Hacienda from 700 meters away is certainly possible. Probably about 900 meters to Picardo from there, maybe
Something
a bit
like
longer.
Yeah,
so both are going to be in play.
The very fast jump because you've got the mountain in the way, but yeah, you can do a quick drop down to there.
And our winners of game number 1 out the plane, and they're heading south.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to San Martin or Hacienda. I guess.
We've got a couple of early levers as usual, but nobody dropping Campo Militar, which is unusual.
No, that's surprising, especially with that flight line.
Okay, we're going to stay with this for a little bit because I rather feel there's probably a lot of shoots around here.
Yeah,
well, they certainly look like it on the map. Okay, so these guys are down, and we've got. I didn't quite catch that one. Was that squad number 11? I saw in the distance there, Jamie?
I think it was. Yeah. Yep. So they're not too far away.
So that's ZS. Who's that? Zarko squad. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, these guys have got enough separation to get looted up. But the guys from B4V separated themselves a little on the drop, taking a few buildings apiece. Better chance to get some loot. I don't imagine the guys from squad number 11 are looking to push across all this open ground, to be honest.
No, I mean, even if they knew it was one player there, then it's still a very open ground to push, like you say.
And that's interesting because we've had a shift off to the west in the zone, and actually at this moment in time, nobody's really that far away.
No, it's unusual it's not quite a Vikendi zone, but it's unusual for Miramar that most players are already in zone.
Okay, here we are with Big. They're already getting into a gunfight. Looks like they're getting into it with squad number 12 from Snitch and also 6 Hell Knights. Taking some rounds, trying to get out of this one.
We only just got in the vehicle in time then.
Very quickly. So let's go and check out our guys from squad number 6. Now, they did take some casualties in that exchange of fire, and they've also got some potential contact with squad number 6, which is HK, the Hell Knights.
They're trading knocks by the looks of it at the moment.
Got a little bit of a look there, but not clear enough to go for the burst.
No, and HK right there with no meds, no armor, no helmet.
And looks like Kashan is coming out, and here we go. Trying to do some up close with a shotgun, but ultimately cleared up with the UMP there. Nice work.
Yeah, I think that's a case of just unlucky with the loot there slightly.
Absolutely. So that's 4 kills from this team. Slot number 12, Snitch Ravenclaw. Charlotte will be pleased.
Yeah, so that's a good start for them. Got some early kills, and they're all still alive.
Yeah, so the guys from Big who rotated out of that fight potentially may well be. Oh, hang on, no, there's something else there. Just saw a quick flash.
Yep, Team 24 there.
Here we are.
Revolution.
Here with Revolution, they're getting into it with Fly. Come on, graphics. I know it's Miramar. Give me a break.
See, I love Miramar, but to play, but streamers generally don't because it's just the the biggest map.
And here we are with Hypnos. Potentially, putting some hurt into one of the guys. I think that was an overcooked nade, and he stepped. I think that was an accidental step out as he threw the nade, and that one cost him.
Yeah, I got and thirsted as well.
And thirsted up. And in fact, the guys from Fly here, they've taken 3 kills now.
Yeah, so I think they might have actually. That might be the squad wipe. I think maybe we had a team of 3.
Yeah, that's interesting because it was showing 80 in the lobby, wasn't it?
It was, but I noticed there were 21 teams. I think someone might have just come into team 1, the empty slot, late perhaps.
Maybe not jumped into their slot. I see.
Yeah.
But yeah.
B4V Knight's been knocked.
Let's get quickly into it. We're getting some action here around. Oh, come on! Give me a break. Give me a break. And here we are with a couple of guys from team number 21. That's Eagle Company. And they're closing in on the guys from B4V. And
yeah, it looks like they've B4V have managed to regroup and get the heal on.
So long range knock there, not really worth crashing that one at this stage, especially across that level, that amount of open ground. They may well, but let's have a look there. They might try to drive around and flank it.
Yeah, I mean they've got to drive around anyway because I think they're slightly out of zone here, Team 21. They've still got 15 seconds and it is only phase 1.
Looks like they're heading out of it.
Yeah, probably a pragmatic decision. No one likes leaving a fight, but it's a pragmatic decision. I think they might be going off the map there.
Yep, they're heading off to Sarnock. Yep. And okay, we're still here with team number 18. This is Arsenic Esports, and they're getting into the guys in Big, who rotated out of one fight just to find themselves walking straight into another. And that sounded close.
Yeah, definitely. So one of so Fireboy actually, who we saw only just getting into the vehicle, has been taken out now, and also one from Team 14's just gone down as well.
Exchange of kills between these two teams. Now, you'd have to say 18 have, well, it depends, doesn't it? I mean, 14 have the buildings, 18 have the high ground. Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, this may well come down to a clever rotation, trying to get a different angle, or maybe a strong push, perhaps a perfectly timed nade. But it's a difficult one to call at the moment. Now, I'm just looking. We've got a player from Team 18 who has rotated further round. So the other two keeping these 3 busy, as Psycho there is rotating further round, trying to get that different angle.
Unfortunately, it looks like he's only got a red dot. Not managed to make many of those count, but it does look like they've managed to establish a knock on one of the guys from Big.
So Psycho now can hold the side, while the other two concentrate fire on the knocked players, or player, sorry.
Monochito looking to smoke up his teammate.
It looks like they've managed to get the knock on. Yep, an Alpha Wolf there. So we've got a 2v2. Both sides have got. In fact, no, sorry. Yeah, a 2v2 fight. Team 18 have got 1 knocked player by the looks of it.
Yeah, that looks like they're getting the res on. Let's check out Psycho, still in this slightly flanking position here. And that doesn't help.
Oh no, I mean Team 14 here are in the better position of having some hard cover from the red zone. I mean, it is unusual, but we've both seen it happen.
Oh yeah,
when the red zone does take players out.
Oh, absolutely. Right, let's have a quick look at the map. These guys seem to be consolidating and healing a little at the moment. Okay, let's check out Ange and CN1 doing very, very well in game number 1. Looks like they're closing up with another team from TipTop, actually.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it in the scrims we play and we commentate on that. You know, everyone loves a bit of clan on clan action, a bit of bragging rights in the server afterwards.
And yeah, they've already picked up some kills, these guys. It'd be interesting to know if that was on each other.
They're being quite cagey. We have got a forward player there from Team 25. He's actually in the compound.
And these guys looking potentially to join their colleague.
There we go. So we've got a couple over at longer distance, and then we've got Cores and Aries going building to building against each other. Now, I'd assume they can hear each other's footsteps. They'll know the other one's there.
And yeah, Aries doing his best not to move about too much here. Not certain where his teammate is. He's got another teammate up somewhere. Oh, he's just off to his right. Yep. These guys maintaining cover in the buildings. And okay, yeah, looks like we might have a look. Yeah, beautiful burst and knock with the Scarell there.
Yeah, it didn't take long to scope in. He also, I think he knows there's someone coming out to try and get the revive, because he immediately snapped to those buildings just to cover. And trying to get out for the revive. So if they didn't know before, they would have seen the names come up on the feed there. They'll know that it's their clanmates.
And not looking to poke the obvious route there. But, still hasn't got too long to get the res on his teammate here. Needs some smoke.
That's exactly where he is.
Yeah, well, he can't shoot him, but he may well be taking him out.
He's just naded his... Yeah.
So was that?
I think that might have been sacrificial.
Yeah, is that was that trying to deny the kill, or was that actually not certain what was going on? Probably denying the kill, I'd have thought.
I would imagine, yeah. So
okay.
Here we go. Looks like we might have a push here.
And actually, Aries on his own because his partner's off in another building. He does manage to establish a knock, changes out his guns, gets out the window.
Brilliant work there.
Straight back in the building. Nade comes in.
Oh,
Mollies go in.
Brilliant nade.
Another molly. And you have to say, from what was a very difficult situation, Aries and Zay here really doing the work.
Yeah, the speed of thought there to take the knock and get out the window.
And you have to say, going into that fight, I'd have put Cores and Ange on top there, but my word, did that change fast?
Absolutely, yeah.
And
that was some brilliant defensive play.
And I'm afraid Cores has had to get away from that, and is probably too far away from his teammate now. No, and what a play! What a play by those two! Absolutely fantastic work.
Yeah, that is brilliant defense. Oh look, and here we go. Oh no, I thought there might have been some bragging there on the crate.
It's my word, yeah. I mean, if you'd have done a freeze frame right before they started shooting at each other and say who do you think's going to take this, I very much doubt most people would have gone with the winners there.
That was great individual play there.
Okay, we're here with squad number 23. That's Fly, and they're not too far away from our friends in Snitch Ravenclaw, although it's always deceptive on this map. It looks not too far away on the map, and it turns out they're miles away. Not that far away, obviously.
No.
So, Zohan doing his best to get the res on his teammate, and do you know what? It's close enough. I think they're going to get pushed on here by the guys from Snitch. Yes, they are. Here come the nades.
Yep. So he hasn't got a lot of health. He hasn't got a gun.
So Zohan here trying to get the rounds in. He has now been knocked. And Zik here has got hardly any health. I don't think he had a chance to med up. Putting some hurt on these fellas though. Making them pay for it.
Yeah, they're not going to rush the other team. They know there's a decent gunfighter here now.
Right, and Snitch actually taking the opportunity to potentially get the res on their teammate, which allows Zik to do the same thing for his. And his teammate has gone down again. You have to say, putting up an excellent fight there, but ultimately the guys from Snitch Ravenclaw taking it. So they've racked up 8 kills for this team now, and some great early work. Nice to get some gunfight in early game, Jamie.
Definitely, that was some really good close-up from both teams, actually. You know, they both had knocks, and they weren't worried about healing as such. They were just trying to make sure they had guns in the fight. Some brilliant counter knocks as well, but eventually the other team took Team 12 took the fight there.
And looks like we might be getting our usual sort of people establishing themselves mid-zone early on, because there's a lot of teams around this area.
There are, but there still seems to be some action all over the place. There, they're trying to consolidate, they're trying to loot and make sure they're ready for the later stages of the game. But other people seem to have different ideas.
It's very inconsiderate.
So I mean, if you look at Team 15 here, they're very split. They're either side of Team 11. So we've got Jen Indra over here to the west, and the rest are over to the east, the other side of the road there.
So yeah, it looks like Indra doing a little bit of scouting, but inadvertently found themselves on either sides of this one. And now then, we've got what appears to be, I think that's...
Oh, I mean...
there's only one here, I think. So this is obviously a scout from 7 Atoms.
Yeah, doing some great work there. He's only got level 2 gear as well, so he's going to have to be a little bit careful.
Right, but that was a great sniper shot coming in, so needs to be careful about where he pokes now.
Yeah, I wonder if Team 13 will push this. I wonder how much they know, whether they know there's only one player there or if they think there might be a whole squad. In fact...
It gives us a reasonable overlook of the general situation, and we're here with Chili Oil from GC. Teammates coming up.
So we've got teams lined up sort of east to west here. Team 9 looking at Team 13, who are looking at Team 8, and then on to Team 15 and Team 13. Sorry, Team 15, I think it is.
And it's all going to be kicking off down here. The guys from... the guys from Kill for Win up in the north there, they're going to be hearing a lot of gunfire pretty soon.
Definitely,
they do have some guys from SD not too far away, but it's always interesting this, especially this stage of the game. You've got a lot of teams very close to each other, but they're staking out their compounds. Whether that means they're going to start engaging or pushing, sometimes these guys can be very, very cautious about going for a push when they know there's so many guns around them.
Absolutely, yeah, and they can see that the later stages are coming here. They want to either establish a defensive position or make sure they're in a position to. I mean, like we saw B4B in the first game. You know, yes, they had numbers, but also they made sure they had the right area of the map.
So we're here with squad number 11. That's Zarko squad. B4V not too far away, and we've got this huge concentration of teams in between the two areas of high ground, and looks like a Beetha from Jen has been knocked.
Yeah, that was actually 7 Atoms cheater there. Sort of, I would say lone wolf, but the lone cheater getting the knock on Ibiza. And they've all been joined by B4V.
You can't do lone wolf and then lone cheater. It's a completely different family. It's felines and canines. It's what you're doing.
I know. It gets lonely in the desert.
Oh my word. So yeah, these guys aren't content to simply stake their ground and defend it. They're sticking the hurt on each other.
Yeah, it's great to have the gunfights at this mid-stage as well. 15 teams, 49 still alive, and we're still getting gunfights close up as well.
Especially on a map like Miramar, which is not a map that normally lends itself to a lot of early close-in gunfighting. But
no. I think a lot of teams, like you said, are trying to establish positions in the zone early. And because of that, and because of the way that the topography of the map, you've got all these hillsides, and people are just trying to make sure they've got a good position. And
just look
they're willing to fight for it.
Just looking at the kill feed there, saw a couple of Snitch Ravenclaw knocks up. So these guys are carrying on, putting in the good work, I can see.
Yep. I mean, I think from memory they had at least 8 kills already.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, who do you pick to zoom in on from this lot?
Wow. I don't know, because you've got three teams and then Team 11 as well trying to get involved. Everyone's trying to look in every direction.
Manish has taken some rounds.
I mean, it shows the importance of vehicles as well. I mean, A, to travel big distances on Miramar, but B, also, you know, to use as a defensive blockade. So we go to the high view and you can see, you know, how important these mountains are, providing cover, but also providing the high ground to look down.
And we're here with Knight from B4V, and they've got squads all around them. Everybody's taking a chunk out of each other. And fights like this, especially relatively early in the game, this is going to eat up meds. It's going to
ammo, meds,
body armor
as well.
Ammo, meds, body armor. I mean, the amount of resources going into this. And that's B4V Knight getting a knock on Seiko there. Great work.
Yeah, very accurate shooting there. He didn't have a lot to aim at, just the very tip of a helmet. But, I mean, just look at the mini-map, the number of different teams that we've got in this very concentrated area.
And so Zero there trying to get shot in with the Car 98. I think that one went to the wall. Oh, that was a render problem.
I think it's the spectator glitch where it wobbles from side to side, but the player doesn't see the same thing.
And yeah, they've got to move now because phase 5 of the game. Got to move, but try and pick an easy rotation. Take it out now. Yeah, Manish from B4V doing the work there. Now the guys at B4V controlling ground beautifully again, but they still have some work to do to get into zone here.
Yeah, they've got what, four other teams around them, and they've got to get into the next zone as well. We've seen them control high ground and make sure they've got into the zone. This one's going to be a bit harder though.
These guys taking cover in basically the only building available to them.
Yeah, so we're starting to thin out. We still have got 38 players from 11 teams, but they are starting to get knocked and thinned out a bit here.
Yeah, but these guys are slightly outside of zone for our next rotation. And yeah, how do you rotate in this lot?
Well, like Manish has done, you've got to, try and find some sort of cover, even if it's the slightest dip, a rock, something. Just trying to establish a position.
So we're down to 35 players left alive, 10 teams still contesting. Our friends from TipTop, CN1, squad number 19, crash rotation late. And 13 here, occupying slap Zenta zone here.
Yeah, so this is going to be prime real estate here. We've got hard cover, centre zone. There's going to be people desperate for these buildings.
Yeah, well, TipTop certainly are, because that's why they're putting the hurt on them.
Yep.
Looks like our friends from TipTop. Great gunfight with their clanmates earlier. And this duo certainly not frightened of up-close and personal gunfighting.
No, absolutely not.
Would you lot keep that noise down? My word, look at this lot. Absolutely insane zone here, Jerry.
Yeah, I mean, this is very similar to the finish we had on the previous zone, but we've still got 8 teams.
Zayd's putting in the work there. They picked up 7 kills for this team now. There goes number 8, I think, or should be. And I think Indra's trying to basically die by the blue zone there.
Yeah, we've got shots rain everywhere. These guys are going to do well to hold the position, but the number of teams that are trying to get into zone is actually thinning out now. We've got, 3 teams, I think, that are already in zone. and we've got that leaves what 5 teams outside zone trying to make their way in and down the hillsides.
Look at this. This is some fantastically exciting stuff. So 21 players left alive from 8 teams at this moment in time. Looks like the guys from B4V also putting some knocks towards the guys from 7 Atoms there.
Yeah, look at Team 13. They've still got 3 players. They are slightly split up, though.
They are.
Team 15 have also got 3 players. Team 5, Team 12. We've got plenty of teams with multiple players left. And just adding that, we've got a drop coming down right in the middle as well.
So there's our next zone shift, and that's not worked for the guys from B4V. They've got a lot of open ground to go through.
Yeah.
But they're coming through. They're going through, and that is Manish taken out, and that is in fact guys from B4V taken out. So we're down to 7 players. Absolutely brutal period of play.
Yeah, anyone who was on the hillsides there was taken out either by the zone or by the defensive play from the guys down at the bottom here.
Absolutely brutal phase of play. So we're down to 7 players left alive. 3 teams. We've got RS, Gen, and CN1.
Yeah, so you can see. I mean, we can see here just how important it was to make sure it was worth taking the risk of a big fight to establish hard cover in the centre of zone.
So we've got 2 players from RS just across the road. 3rd player slightly separated. So controlling both sides of the road or attempting to. The guys from RS. We've got 2 players from squad number 15, Gen, in their small compound. And in this small compound here, we've got the 2 remaining players from CN1. And out go the nades. And I feel that with all of these guys enjoying a little bit of hard cover at the moment, Jamie, this may well come to how the zone shifts in phase 8.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at the next zone and it's right on the centre of that T-junction. So we've got very little hard cover in the new zone. People are going to be pushing last minute. There's probably going to be smokes. You see Team 15 now pushing.
And there's a knock by CN1 on one of the players from Gen.
Luckily, they're next to each other so they can get the revive. But it looks like they're getting the hurt on the other player as well.
And how unlucky is that? You got an airdrop where they could have both probably used some ammo and some fresh armor, but it's landed on a roof, so they can't grab it.
Yeah. Oh, the molly onto Aries there from CM1.
Beautiful molly, and the zone is now starting to push forward, and we're down to the 2 teams left alive. Aries is down. Teammate attempted to establish a knock. They haven't got a lot. They're getting pushed, and yeah. You have to say that was some outstanding work there from our friends from RS. Fantastic fight coming, I have to say, from the guys from CN1 there. But truly fantastically exciting, exciting finish there. So the guy from RS Rise, they take first place with 9 kills. In second place, we have CN1. They take 11 kills, and in third we have Gen, and these guys take 7 kills. Now our individual kill leader, GR from RS, doing very well with 6, but our Zai there from TipTop taking 9. Let's have a look. We've got another 6 kills there for Raritist.
I mean, 9 kills since we've been commentated together. That's the highest individual kill count that I've seen in these Scrims.
And yeah, and there was these guys were involved all the way through. Lost a couple of teammates, won a cracking gunfight against their own squad, against their own team, and then continue through the final circle. But we'll definitely do a bit of post match after this.
All calm down.
Having a quick look at the results screen there, I don't believe anybody's going to be doing more than 9. So it does look like Zai from CN1 TipTop is our kill leader for game number 2. Okay, boys and girls, we will see you very, very shortly. We're going to take a very quick break, then we'll do a bit of post-game analysis of game 2 before discussing game number 3, which should be on Vikendi. So back with you in just a few moments. Okay, boys and girls, welcome back. We'll soon be getting into the discussion of what we might want to see from game number 3 on Vikendi. But yeah, first of all, yeah, sometimes can be a little bit dull in the mid-game, Miramar, but that one certainly wasn't, Jammy.
I'm knackered, mate. That was like a Sanhok game all the way through. We had action from start to finish. We didn't have any lulls, and that finish, anyone who wasn't in the bottom, in those 3 teams in the hard cover in the center, anyone that was trying to rotate in from the sides was either killed by the zone or by the excellent defensive gunplay from the 3 teams in the middle there. It was a fantastic last 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah, it was just some outstanding work. I mean, I noticed I think one of the teams, I can't remember. I think it was squad number 22. They were somewhat isolated. They were really rocking a hard place. They weren't in a building in the low ground, but they weren't on the high ground, so they got swept up in the gunfight as people came charging off that hill. And then the people who had the compounds literally just said "Happy Christmas" and unloaded. And very quickly, we lost half the remaining players.
Yeah, and you look at some of the individual high kill counts as well, and they're all the people that are in that last circle who were looking, as well as the other teams that that made it to the final circle. They were looking up the hills, and they could see people just running in, whether they had smoke to run through or not. They had to run in, and so they're the ones that were able to then get the kills on those people who were very much weakened already.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just fantastic, fantastic work from the guys from RS Rise there. You have to say though, got to give a big shout out to the guys who came in second there from TipTop. First of all, getting into a big clan on clan action with their clanmates, and that gunfight where they were getting pushed on by 2 of their clanmates. And yeah, if you froze frame as those guys were charging up the stairs and closing in on the one player there, you'd have definitely called that one the other way.
Yeah, it started off as a 2v1, and we both called it. We said, they're going to basically kill their clanmates here. And what a defensive position he held. No, he took the knock out the window, got some bandages in, and then went back up and joined up some more, got the nade in, and then they finished off from there. So yeah, really good. There's no teaming there between the 2 clan teams.
No, I imagine their servers pretty salty right about now. But it was great action, fantastic stuff to cover. So yeah, we've had some pretty exciting games, games 1 and 2. So game number 3, Vikendi.
Yeah, and I know Vikendi is your favourite all-round map.
For squad play, yeah.
For squad play, it has everything. You have some open ground for sniping. You've got some real good close-in areas. You've got the novelty of having the snow, and places like Cosmodrome and Villa just can be crazy drops. And then you've got the one thing that Vikendi does better than any other map, and that is very often you get a crazy first zone.
Yeah, certainly. I think certainly the main feature of Vikendi is your absolutely lethal first zone that wipes out 3/4 of the map. But the thing I also like about Vikendi, it gives you the opportunity to rotate in vehicle. But certainly once zone has popped, and if that zone is anywhere near the coast, you've also got the opportunity to rotate on foot in zone by hugging the coast and the coastline. And the other thing I must admit I do very much enjoy about Vikendi is basically 3 or 4 cars all crashing into a compound and some great fighting on the stairs.
Definitely, yeah. The vehicles, the buildings there lend themselves to you can defend them well if you're a good player, but also if you're a good organised squad, it's not easy, but you can crash the squad. It's not 5 stories high and you've got to work your way up the stairs. You can really crash a compound.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, judging by the way that I something's got their blood up this evening, Jammy. Sometimes it can be a bit passive. We saw a little bit of it for a few minutes in the Erringel game, but other than that, it's just been full on mayhem. So on a map like Vikendi, which can lead to that anyway, I'm expecting more of the same. This lot, you know what? I think they're all having a bad night, Jammy. They seem intent on some gratuitous violence.
Yeah, which means we're having a good night.
Absolutely,
because
yeah, loving
we
it.
get to watch it and we get to talk about it. And also, I've noticed in the YouTube chat, and thanks for everyone for watching and commentating. There's some love for these games in the chat as well.
Yeah. I think quite a few of the people watching are enjoying it, which is great. It's great to have some feedback from people who are watching the stream. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it. On occasion, when we're not going, oh my God, what are they doing next? We do occasionally look at it. But yeah, just some fantastic, fantastically exciting gunfights, games 1 and 2. Certainly, the guys from RS. I mean, they had a good game in game 1.
Yes.
RS had a good game in game 1. B4V certainly fantastic defense in game 1. The guys from both teams, actually, from TipTop, from CN1s, they've been involved in quite a few gunfights. As have many other teams. Jen, Zarko, the guys from Snitch, which was it? Snitch Ravenclaw, I think it was.
Yes. Yeah.
They were lighting up the kill feed early game in Miramar.
Yeah, and as you say, it's unusual on Miramar to have action all the way through. We didn't have a lull. We often in Miramar you'll get a bit of early action when people establish the drop location, and then everyone loots and waits for the first zone and then heads towards it. And you do get that lull for the the second phase of the game. But we didn't have that. People were trying to establish as soon as that next zone broke. People were trying to establish position.
Yeah, and I have to say, Jamie, I mean, we covered quite a bit of action there, but we didn't get a lot of sniper action, mate. Do you feel a bit disappointed?
A little.
You're a bit let down by these fellas.
Yeah, I think they could just try a little bit harder, to be honest. They're keeping you happy because it's all close-up gunfighting.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's because I have 3 shredded wheat for breakfast, pal. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to ruin any sort of street cred that a 45-year-old man can have, and I'm going to agree with someone in the YouTube chat. There was some absolutely poggers playing there.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah. Okay, so here we are for game number 3. We're on Vikendi, as we were saying. Now, we pretty much, I think one player did sort of get a little bit lost coming in late, but we pretty much had a full lobby for game number 2. So I'm very much hoping that we managed to get everybody into their slots for game number 3. We're going to follow
We've got 78 out of 80, so we're not doing too bad.
Yeah, we're going to follow potentially follow the guys from RS Rise, winners of game number 2, down on the drop. So let's have a look at our flight line, and most importantly, what our first zone shift is going to be. So here we go, boys and girls. Game number 3, Vikendi. And well, okay, so we're mostly we're going from the north to the western coast on a slightly southwesterly trajectory there. So Cosmodrome certainly in range. Villa, Mount Krezhnik, Goroka, Dobra. Well, not a lot really. We've got some early exits, Jamie.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you'll find is a lot of these players, with the early exits, because you've got that eastern coastal road, are actually going to probably try and head towards some different areas. I doubt they'll all be staying up in the north there, but we'll see. They may surprise me. But because of that, the flight line cuts off a lot of the southeastern edge of the map, so they may be looking to rotate round.
Okay, so our winners of game number 2 are out the plane. They're heading south. And looks like we potentially might be getting into some early action with Team 24 and, somebody else up there.
Can't Team quite 11, so that's your Ravenclaw. Right. It's Ravenclaw, I believe.
And yeah, let's go on to that one, see if we can get rid of the render first before we start shooting at each other.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, well, it's like, was that wonderful PUBG meme? You know, you got Grandad surrounded by his grandchildren. Says it was 1942. We were outside Pachinki. The graphics hadn't rendered.
So I wondered if they're just going to go looting or whether they're actually going to start trying to establish knocks.
We'll keep an eye on this from an overview point of view for the time being. So we've got team number 11. That's the guys from Zarko squad, and 24 from Revolution. And have a quick look at the map, and there's our first zone shift. And there we go, very aggressive, and looks like we're already getting some early action. So let's jump up. And this looks like the guys from Fly. They're getting into it with Arsenic Esports.
Yep, and also you can see that Fly, they've got one knocked, but they three by the looks of it.
And very early stage here, so our friend here, Zico, no vest, no helmet. No. Two teammate already taken down. Looks like they went in only as a 3 anyway, so not a good time to be fighting on your own. And could we be seeing a pan chuck? Could we be seeing a pan chuck?
No, maybe not. That would be epic. I've seen it in classics, and we've done it, but I've not seen one in a scrim yet.
So yeah, deciding go big or go home, and yeah, ultimately unsuccessful there. So taken out.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame they didn't follow through with the threat of chuck. Oh, it looks like we got. Oh no, sorry, I thought they were in the same compound then.
But yeah, it would have been epic to see the pan chuck go through the window and ding someone in the head, wouldn't it?
It would be brilliant.
Or do you think I just had a misspent childhood and you know I should get some counselling?
I think both things can be true.
Okay, here we are with RS, our winners of game number 2, and they're getting straight into it with the guys from team number 21. This is Eagle Company.
Yeah, so some good counter-fire there from RS Dick. Then I thought this player we're following now, I don't know the name, sorry, might have actually been able to get the early shots on, but Dick with the very good counter-fire.
So one player down. Both of these guys from 21 here, they're not in the best of health.
No vest. Only got a level 2 helmet. No meds.
Oh, beautiful knock there with the Thompson. Fantastic work.
Oh, here comes the DBS.
Here comes the DBS. Oh yeah, we're going John Wick on the job. We're getting up close and personal with a shotgun.
Yeah, not bothering with the thirst.
Oh dear me. So our friend there managing to do the business with the Uzi against.
So we got a 1v1.
Managing to whack some adrenaline in, get some meds in. So potentially a 1v1 here.
Getting a bit Benny Hill around the building here. Oh,
and that was it. Yeah, great burst through the door there, and that does it. What an exciting gunfight from these two teams. Now that's 3 kills. I mean, they did clear up the 3 guys there, but it cost them 2 players, Jamie.
Absolutely. I mean, they'll probably think it was worth it in the end for the kills. But that at the moment, but that could prove costly later on in the game. We've seen that numbers always count. Yep,
and looks like our friends from team number 7 well split up. CRB up to around the Peshkova area, but nobody around them, so they'll more than likely get away with that. So it looks like Dino Park Central Zone, so we might still have a coast finish. Normally about zone phase 3, this will shift hard again, so it'll be interesting to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, so it looks like we've got around sort of Dino Park, Vivace, around that west of Dino Park area, where Team 22 are. You've got a couple of squads sort of heading towards them. Team 15 from the north, Team I'm trying to see 16 or 18 from the south.
Yep. So okay, after the initial bloodletting, we're down to 53 players. Yeah, these guys have had their pet pills this evening. They've had their Smarties. They've had the blue Smarties, Jammy. They're all being very naughty.
They are, and we're loving it. We're looking at there's quite a few teams still to rotate in. There's from the northeast there, Team 24. They've got a long way to rotate in yet. CM1 at Cosmodrome, probably getting some good loot, so they'll leave it as late as possible, I'd imagine.
Absolutely. I love probably most of the players who are actually playing this don't know what I meant by blue Smarties and being naughty because they're far too young, but never mind.
Yeah. I mean, even Sunny D's an old reference now.
Oh, yeah. Don't remind me, dude. Okay, we're going to quickly jump up with squads number 22 and 15. Looks like they're closing in on each other. So 22, that is our friends from Kill for Win.
And there we go in one of the exploding cars.
And 15 from Gen Esports, who were contesting right at the end in our game number 2 at Miramar. Now, are these guys looking to find an angle for this one? Yep, they're out the vehicles. So
yep.
they're...
And
Yep, they're coming in now.
Is yeah, on his own here as well.
Oh dear. Didn't check his six. Didn't check his six. And through the door. Yeah, okay. If you were going to get the drop shot on him when he wasn't looking, you had to push in a bit faster than that, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty brutal work there from Indra. Great work.
Absolutely. I mean, Indra might think twice about just running into a building next time. If lucky, he didn't get shot in the back then.
Yeah, absolutely. Open doorway in front of him, turned his back on it. Yeah, because I'd never make that kind of mistake because, yeah, I'm brilliant, me.
That's why we talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the amount of times I've been shot in the back of the head, unbelievable. Okay, our Hacks to Max here. Last of the duo who were near this squad. His teammates a little bit off, but they've already lost one member, maintaining a low profile and probably looking to rotate out of this one, Jamie, and join up with the rest of his squad, I'd have thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks like they've got to look at him, though. Now then, this should be interesting. Are the guys from Gen, they're going to leave this, or are they going to go and push him? And I could...
Oh, there we go. His teammate's coming in to rescue. Excellent transition into the vehicle there. Straight in, no messing.
Yeah, I think that was Dukes of Hazzard style through the window there, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And they make a good getaway.
Okay, so...
although they are heading straight to another squad.
Looks like we've got some action up in the north of this circle. We've got team number 10, that's Ross Squad, and they're getting into it with our friends from B4V, who we featured quite a bit in games 1 and 2, Jamie.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen them, excellent individual gunfighters, good positional play as well. So this should be interesting.
They're up against it, though, the guys from B4V. They've already taken 2 casualties.
Yeah. I don't know if it was these guys from Team 10 here.
And 2 of their big hitters, Manish and Knight, down.
Yeah, so Hailu here, not actually defending a building. Be interesting to see what Team 10 do here.
So I think...
oh yeah, Rex is on the roof.
They know that Rex is on the roof here. So expect some fireworks pretty soon. I'd have thought, well, that's if they have them.
Yeah, so what they'll probably do is try and spread out and surround the building, now knowing that the player's on the roof now.
Goes to the jump to get a poke at him, but gets knocked for it, and potentially almost thirsted as well there.
Yep, and he does get the thirst.
Yeah.
So I think we've now got a 2v2.
So great work from Ravrex there. Evened up the gunfight.
Yep, and still got the other player out covering the angles as well.
Hailu's moved in now, so just outside the building. Let's check out our friends from squad number 10.
Okay.
Okay.
Someone's found the emote button. I mean, it looks like we've got Team 7.
Yep.
Are they going past or are they coming in? No, it looks like they're rotating past.
But Ravrex certainly caught a glimpse of something there.
Yep.
Okay, now is he going to try and go for the jump off the roof here?
Lining up for maybe a jump shot through the window. Maybe. So we've got one player running around just trying to cause a bit of chaos by the looks of it.
Oh, gets the molly through the window there, but took a little bit of damage. And red zone is now coming as well.
And then trying to, just trying to make sure they can't get out the window, just trying to keep them in. This is excellent tactical play, this is.
Get dizzy watching this lot run around, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So they're holding their buildings now.
Looks like Ravrex doing a bit of parkour work across the roof.
Yep. So we've got the blue zone now, we've got the red zone, so...
and looks like we've got team from Team 24 driving through.
Yep.
And, well, yeah, all guns, they instantly forget about each other and all guns focused on the team rotating through. So that was an expense. That was a pretty brutal way to go.
It was, and I think Ravrex will be gutted there, because even though he was on the roof and tried to get the knock, it was actually the other team that managed to get that, Team 10. I don't think either team's going to give up on this one. And it could be down to whoever's got the best meds.
You can see that Revrex is absolutely loath to give up this position on the roof.
Yep. Waiting to see if one of them peeks out. You can just see in the window there. He doesn't want to go out too far, otherwise.
Now you can. I normally mess it up when I try, but I think you can jump and hit the ledge there and go in through the top window, can't you? But I think I've missed it more than I've got it.
Oh, very good.
Very, very, very flash. And looks like highly looking at the road now. Interesting. Is he looking to come at this from a completely different direction, or is he just getting out of there?
I think actually he's rotating around. Oh, get into the vehicle by the looks of it.
Potentially leaving Ravrex up on the roof, so do a jump and a fast exit maybe.
Yeah, well, the duo of Team 10, while he's on the roof, they can't do anything. He's obviously got plenty of meds. So fairly benign zone shift.
I'm just going to check what else is going on, because I must admit I did think this gunfight was going to be over by now, but... So we've got 14 and 8, and we'll just quickly jump up to the situation in the north there. Come on, get on it. This is team number 7, who actually we saw rotating through this gunfight a little while ago.
And team 24, who also rotated past the gunfight and lost one of their teams.
Lost one of their members, and it looks like our friend from 24 just getting out of there.
Yep.
So let's see if anything else is happening with our friends in this situation. Now we're at phase 3.
This zone's really starting to hurt now.
We're at phase 3 of the game now, and teammate has in fact been knocked. So here comes the push, but he in turn gets the knock on Hailu there. But Ravrex comes in off the roof, does the business, and is now going to get the res on his teammate. So these guys will get healed, get looted up, and be ready to rotate in and fight again. Okay, looks like we're potentially getting into some action with the guys from Kill for Win, squad number 22.
Yeah, looks like a thirst just then, and another one as well.
Well, they've lost 2 of their members, but taken 3 kills, and looks like we've got some more action just not too far away. So this is Chris from T3. Now that's interesting. I mean, he's showing us only going in as a duo, so that's unfortunate. Teammate has been taken out.
So obviously trying to lay low a little bit in zone, so just trying to survive a little bit longer by the looks of it. It's probably the best idea. We've got, what's that, teammates looking for him.
So that's 87 Adams, I think. 18 is Arsenic Esports. And yeah, we've got a few teams actually not too far away from this.
Yeah, they're all in sort of fairly close proximity. But maybe just trying to consolidate the position, see what the next zone change does. Because you never know, the building you're in might be centre zone.
So now there we go. Let's get back up. No, that did look like they were potentially pushing on Chris there, didn't it? But
it did. Well, I think it might actually be Team 25 that they're. Oh no, Team 14 and 25 by the looks of it. Excuse me.
So we got squad from Big.
We've got a nade about to come up.
Up he comes. And oof, yeah, felt a bit of that one.
Good damage.
Still got a little bit of action happening elsewhere also. And yeah, that's squad member from TipTop Black seeing one. They're taking some.
And you see the other players on the left of your screen there.
Yeah.
And I didn't catch it up. They're now pushing in the vehicle.
They're now pushing in very, very aggressively, and you have to say the guys from Big, they're really going to be up against it. And yeah, great movement there, great work, teamwork from the guys from TipTop, and Absolutely. Doing the business there.
Very patient, waited till they got the knock, and as soon as they got the knock,
it looks like these fellas are after some revenge, because the other TipTop team is firing at their other clanmates again.
Doing it from slightly further back than last time. They see the vehicle.
So we're phase 5 of the game. 32 players left alive. 13 teams. And there's a hard shift and a few people still out in the blue from the previous phase of play. So yeah, some of these people have really got to start to jump into their vehicles and go now.
Yeah, so we see B4V rotating in from the north. Team 9 there, GC rotating from the east. They're going to come up against Team 6 fairly soon. Although Team 6 and Team 25, one of the CM1 teams are getting into it. And we see Team 19 have broken away from Team 25, and they're actually rotating around the south. Probably do a bit of looting, I think, and then head into zone. It looks like B4V may have taken out someone from, I think it was Team 7 up there by the crate.
Yep, the rest of Team 7 rotating in from the west. 19 looking to come in from the south, and we've still got Chris from T3 there maintaining, I imagine probably still maintaining a very low profile in those rocks.
Absolutely, yeah, I'd imagine he's still...
Yep, yeah. He's got guys from IQ all around him. Got guys from 7 Atoms all around him.
Yeah, in a nice bright red outfit, so fairly conspicuous, but doing a good job.
We got... and some knocks going into the guys from CM1 who broke off that fight earlier, and that's Ange and the guys.
Yeah, so only one surviving player, I think, from Team 25 now, with a couple of knocks there. It looks like the guys from Team 9, have they been... Oh, it's Playzone that's taken 2 of those down.
But they're also involved in a gunfight with Hell Knights, or at least one player from Hell Knights. And... yeah, doesn't have time to get the meds in and is now knocked.
I think maybe he accepted he was too far out of zone.
And there's only one of them up alive, and he's very quickly taken out. So that is that team wiped down. 21 players, 11 teams left alive. And our situation is we've still got a lot of teams well outside the circle here. In fact, there's only one team in it, and that's Kill for Win.
Yep. Team 15 there, gatekeeping Team 5, stopping them from being able to get in. By the looks of it.
And that's not going on a B4V, and I think that's B4V wiped. Yep.
Yeah, so some excellent gatekeeping there from Team 15. They actually took 2 teams out who were trying to rotate from the blue.
So we're here with Arsenic Gaming, 18, not too far away from 8, that's 7 Atoms.
Yeah, so these guys are out of zone as well, very high up, so he's going to have to try and rotate into zone fairly soon.
Looks like Chris is now, is he potentially broken cover?
I think he has actually, I think he's realised he's going to have to move. He's into the top 10 now. So Genio there just holding the high ground with a couple of players from 7 Atoms below him. They're starting to rotate, they're getting the vehicles, they're rotating out.
Drawing some fire.
Yeah, safely out of the vehicle though. So Chris, he's moving, but he's in the same place, so he's going to have to go across open ground now.
We've still got players. We've still got players rotating in late edge of blue. So we got Fairy from SD. We've got T3 Chris, who's had to give up his perch, but he's having to come in. And looks like they've established a knock on one of the guys from Team 18 here. So Psycho, the only member of his team, still up and running.
Yeah, and the zone's going to start to hurt now as we get towards the later phase.
And yeah, now ultimately these guys have got to fail it out and then start to move. The blue's going to get too painful. And great work there from Psycho. Gets the knock on the player from 7 Atoms. Still plenty of work to do. Still outside of zone, and there's still plenty of gunfire coming towards them. And ultimately taken out. That's a bit of revenge there from one of the guys from 7 Atoms. We're here with squad number 7. And that's CRB.
Yep. Quite happy to take the hard cover here.
And one surviving member, one player knocked, the other 2 players dead. And that's a nice takeout from Kill for Win. They positioned themselves beautifully early on, and we're down to 9 players and 5 teams left alive.
Yeah, and it looks like Team 8 are the only team that are in the next zone. They're not in a great position generally, but they are on the edge of the zone. So everyone else is going to have to fight to come in. And the zone actually straddles a road as well. So not a huge amount of cover. We've got a few individual rocks and trees. It doesn't look like there's any hard cover in the zone at all. So we're going to probably see a load of smokes towards the very end of this. Only 9 players left from 5 teams. Team 15 with the most players, I think. And Team 19, sorry.
So we've got Jen coming in from the right of screen. Just off to the left, we have CN1 TipTop. We have Kill for Win. And we have, we're just actually over the position of 7 Atoms.
Yeah, so
and looks like just the one player from Revolution, I think, Jamie. And an aggressive rotation there coming in from one of the guys from TipTop there.
That's a very aggressive rotation. And I think he may have got away with that. Yeah, so we've got 2 of them actually. And
they've managed to find some cover, but they're not too far away from their friends at 7 Atoms. We've got Jen not too far away also. They're hitting edge of zone. Got single.
So one of the solo players has been taken down there by Aries. Leaves Kill for Win Doomy as the last remaining solo player. No, we've got one from Team 8 as well, sorry. And to top it off, we've got a crate coming down as well.
So that is our general disposition on the rounds on the ground, and it looks like some rounds going in towards Donny there.
Yep.
And Donny's been taken out by Indra from Jen.
So it looks like we've got 3 from 15, 3 from 19, and 1 from Team 8. So
and Aries now crossing to get to his teammate. Draws a lot of gunfire doing it, but and I think, yep, he's been knocked. The car was blown.
Yeah, so it looks like actually the car gets the knock and the kill there with the blown vehicle.
So now 6 players, 3 teams left alive. We've got Nexa from 7 Atoms as a solo at this moment in time.
Team 15 Gen have got the numbers. They've got 3 players. They're not in zone though. Team 19 look like they're in the new zone. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, this one. This is
going to come down to little fishes in the rock, I think.
Yeah, who can find that little bit of cover better than anyone else? Nex is in it at the moment. No one can get to him, but he's going to be forced by the blue.
And it's starting to move.
Yeah,
phase 8 of the game.
Nex is not moving. Nex is not giving his kill to anyone else.
So Nex has decided to let that one bleed out.
Yep. So we're going to have a 3v2, I think.
So the guys from Gen getting forced in by the blue, and that's going to happen to CN1 very, very quickly, and now they're getting into it. We're here with Forever from TipTop, getting a few rounds into Indra there, gets the knock on Indra.
That's great work. So now we've got a 2v2.
Teammate has been taken out, and Nexa, I think Nexa's not content to get it away and comes straight over the top.
What a play by Nexa.
Comes straight over the top and takes the kill, but unfortunately is then taken straight out by the guys from Gen. Fantastic finish. I have to say that jump shot over the top really ruined TipTop's plans there. And
I thought Nexa was just going to take the third place there.
Yeah.
Just trying to heal as long as possible. That really surprised me, and that was a fantastic jump play by Nexa. Yeah,
really was very exciting. Okay, in first place we have Gen, and they have 7 kills. In second place we have the guys from 7 Atoms, and they pick up 9 kills. And in third place, guys from TipTop, CN1 again, featuring quite a lot tonight, and they have 5. Okay, in our top 3, looks like Anger is our kill leader with 4. We'll just check the rest of the results for you. There's a few players there with 3.
Yeah,
Quite
quite a
a
few with 3.
quite a few players actually with 3. And just looking down here as we get down, no.
Oh,
And
RS did with 4.
there's another one with 4 there. One of the guys from Rise are winners of game number 2. And yeah, it looks like 2 players, Rise from Dick and from Rise and Anger from 7 Atoms, sharing it with 4 kills. Great work from the guys from Gen there. Jerry and I'll be back in just a few minutes for a bit of post match, and we'll be talking also about Sarnock. So we'll be with you all very, very shortly. And we'll see you for what we hope to be a very exciting conclusion to the evening, game number 4 in Sarnock. See you soon. Okay, welcome back, boys and girls, and yeah, epic action, pretty much from start to finish for game number 3. Actually, we pretty much had it in games 1 through 3, but some great work there on Vikendi. Yeah, just what were your overall highlights from that one, Jamie?
I think when we had the Team 5, Team 10, B4V, and bear with me, I'm just going to get the the squad list up. Our Ross squad. When we had a bit of parkour across the roof, running around trying to molly, and then both teams forgetting about each other and just shooting the guy out of the car.
Oh, from that was from that was a player from Revolution, I think. Yeah,
yeah, and then another highlight was Nexa. I thought Nexa was just going to keep healing and take the third place and not give his kill or his point to someone else, which is totally understandable in Scrim Play. He'd already got third place. But actually, he healed as long as he could and then got both of CN1.
Yeah, got both the guys from
a great jump shot.
Yeah, got both the guys from TipTop there, and they must have been absolutely confused and livid both at the same time. Giving it, what the hell was that? They know they've got Jed to their front. No doubt they were looking at the number of alive players, so they may well have been thinking, well, there might be a solo out there somewhere, but no idea where he is. And there he is, medding up in the blue, comes straight out, puts a knock on one, off the cliff, puts the knock on the other. And the guys who were potentially going into a 2 and 3 gunfight against Jen wiped out very, very quickly by a solo player medding up in the blue.
Yeah, and if it hadn't been for Nexa doing that, the two CN1 players were actually in a position where the Gen squad would have to come out almost into the open.
Well, certainly as that gunfight started, they did take the upper hand because they established a quick knock on Indra, so they'd reduce it down to a 2-on-2 very quickly.
Yeah. But then Nexa comes in and throws a spanner in the works for them. And because he was coming out of the blue and CM1 did get a couple of shots into him, it meant he was so weak when he came up to the Gen squad, he just couldn't do anything about that.
No, but grabbing another couple of kills and grabbing second place, I mean, great work from Nexa there. And you can't say throw a spanner in the works, Jamie. This is PUBG. There are new meta and new game mechanics, okay? He threw a frying pan into the works.
Well, that's the thing, and that's the other thing. We both saw it. We thought, why is he carrying that? And then we realised, of course, you can now throw the pan. And we were desperate to see that happen. It would have been the perfect moment. It would have been your thumbnail.
What, throwing the pan? Yeah, I'd have definitely made a thumbnail of somebody throwing a pan at someone in Tier 1 scrims, yeah.
Yeah. And you wouldn't want to be the receiving end of that because you don't want to have to go back to your teammates and explain how you got killed.
Yeah, that you were killed early game by a flying pan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good war story. Trust me, that's just not a good war story. that's not a good one. Okay, so we've had some fantastic action, and I'm glad to say, as quite often the case, but we've had wins from 3 different teams. So B4V in game 1, RS game 2. That's Jen in game number 3. CN1 been contesting in pretty much most of those games, as have B4V and Jen, to be fair, and RS. It's always good to get a bit of sort of variety as to who's taking the chicken dinners, but anything goes. I mean, we're now coming into my favourite map, Sarnok, and this is especially with the sort of mentality or the mindset that most of these players have come in with this evening, Jamie. I mean, I'd expect some fantastic action in game number 4 as well.
Well, absolutely. I mean, if you can get the sort of gunplay we had on that Miramar game in game 2, I'd be surprised if we get past the 3rd zone. These guys are just hunting each other. They're hungry for kills.
Yeah, it's been that's from our point of view. It's exactly what we want to see.
We've had very little passive play. Not passive, that's the wrong word. We've had very little sort of consolidation where people they choose to loot. There's no action. They're separating from each other. They're withdrawing. Everyone's just been happy to take on every fight they see.
Yeah, I mean, you understand it at the upper levels, especially in competition tiers. I mean, I was watching a little bit of Imperium stream when he was covering the recent UK and Ireland finals and then the EU finals, and Yeah, I mean it's not unusual. I mean I think it was the very first game actually in the UK Ireland. Um, yeah, I mean, basically nothing happened for about the first three phases of the game. I mean, poor old Imperium's literally having to commentate on the map and the scenery, which he did magnificently because, quite frankly, you could pull pretty much anything off if you have a beard like that. But yeah, I mean, you do understand why sometimes competitive scrims do sometimes sort of jump into that sort of phase, but not seeing any of that tonight.
No, and teams will be, yes, you want to get kill points, but placement points are as important, and you can't win the scrim if you're dead in the first zone. And so you find that teams will often, they won't run away from a fight. That's not what we're saying, but they might pragmatically and tactically withdraw from a fight in order to survive to a later zone.
Oh no, I mean
we haven't seen a lot of that. We've seen some teams have withdrawn to get to the next zone.
Yep.
But not just to back away from a fight. We
No,
haven't seen any of that at all.
I mean, yes, okay. I mean, there's passive play, there's passive play. I mean, even if these guys are looking to rotate early game, I mean, they're still shooting the hell out of each other. I mean, most of these teams, by the time they get to phase 6, 7 of the game, they've probably gone through 3 helmets. I mean, it's there's certainly normally plenty of action, but this evening it just seems that people are quite content to actually push these contacts, push those knocks, and establish squad wipes.
Yeah, and also what we found unusually, and I go back to Miramar. We've had, it's not been 2 teams going at it. We've had 5 teams going at it, and you see, you not even have to look on the main map. You can look in the mini map in the corner. You can see 4 or 5 different teams just in the mini map.
Yeah, it's all great fun indeed, and we're hoping very much the same from game number 4 in Sarnock, and looks like we shall be going in just a few moments. So, yep, always my moment of panic as the game loads, but.
So for anyone who doesn't watch this regularly, you wouldn't know, but for those who do, Vimes will always have a minor heart attack as we load up. Now he's looking at the countdown timer, and he's hoping that's going to actually start counting down soon as it loads up.
And it isn't, so we might
isn't at the moment.
We might actually be facing a little bit of an instance problem as we get out of the plane, which is so annoying because we haven't had any technical glitches this evening. But
we haven't, but there's always got to be one. So what we might find is that everyone will suddenly disappear. Oh no, it's counting down. We're down to 8 seconds. So here we go.
Oh yeah, loving it. Yeah, trying to give me a heart attack this damn game. Okay, so here we are for game number 4, Sarnock, and we've got an east to west flight line. Not really much point in discussing what's in range. It's Sarnock. But yeah, what do you think? What are your thoughts on this one? I mean, certainly Paradise and boot camp in range.
Absolutely. Now, it may be different tonight, but we've seen the last couple of times we've commentated on Sandhawk, we've had, 2, maybe 3 teams in boot camp and nobody dropping Paradise. But I think it looks like we might have a team or 2 dropping Paradise. And we've also got a couple of teams going down to the southeast as well.
Well, we've definitely got at least 1, 2 at least coming into
Oh,
Paradise.
Here we go.
So this is squad number 6. This is Hell Knights. They're going to be getting into it potentially with kill for win. And yeah, shots already being exchanged. And they've established a knock. So I'd imagine these guys want to go forward to get the thirst on.
Yeah, so no armour, but he's got a couple of weapons and he's happy to use them. Running straight in there.
So it looks like we've lost a player from squad number 22. Everybody's managed to get themselves into a building and at least grab some weapons now.
Yeah, so they've got he's got a level 1 helmet, no armour, but he's not worried about it as such. He's
and certainly had a quick look at Riot there from there we go.
Oh.
I mean, I know people. I mean, it's fun hot dropping purely and simply for the excitement value, but I sometimes think it's a false economy because if another couple of squads hot drop here, by the time you finish the fight and won it, and you loot up what's left, I mean, you're almost out of gear again. You're on your second helmet. You're out of meds. It can be a false economy sometimes.
It can, but it's also it's a great start. As we see, Caps has mollied Cause there. And got the finish as well. So they're rotating around the outside. They're not running away from the fight. They're just trying to get in a better position here. So it looks like they're going around to try and surround Team 22 there.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's a 2-2 split. Either side of... well, basically that central building of the three that form the centre part of Paradise Resort.
Yeah. So some very early aggressive play there.
We'll just have a quick look at the map, and there's our zone. So nothing going to be too challenging at this moment in time. Looks like potentially we've got a couple of teams down in boot camp as well, Jamie.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's obviously a popular place. You've got good loot down there, and teams tend to go there. It's almost as if they want to test each other when they go there because they know they're going to get into an almighty fight. We've got some action going on down in Kampong with CM1, I think it is, and Jen.
Yep. So we're going to quickly dash down to that, and we've also.
Well, we've got early action sort of pretty much everywhere around the map. It looks like, I'm wondering if, it looks like Jen have taken out the team from CM1.
Yes, they have indeed.
And as we've seen, that takes some doing. So that's good going there from Jen, from our winners from Game 2.
So we've got squad number 18 just looking at the outskirts of boot camp. That's our fellas from Arsenic Gaming. We've got T3 in boot camp, also with Big in boot camp. We've also got the guys from Zarko in boot camp. Let's just take a quick overview of this one.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if Team 17, if they know that there's Team 18 behind them there, because they might be focused on the action at boot camp.
Well, we actually saw this the other day, didn't we? We covered Sarnot game in the Saturday night scrims, and I think it was Toxic, wasn't it? Who they actually stayed just outside boot camp while the two teams inside were fighting it out, and they third-partied the hell out of the situation and caused mayhem.
Yeah, they didn't do it straight away either. They waited until a couple of teams had started getting into it and got some knocks, some damage on each other, and they just cleaned up. So with that first zone, what we've got is a fairly benign one. Most, everyone can reach the edges of the zone at the very least, but we have still got that central waterway in play. And that always throws a bit of chaos because you don't know which side of the river you need to be on for the next zone.
Especially if that hits late, you start to get to phase 6 of the game and that is still in play. That could be very, very nasty. But it looks like the guys from Arsenic Gaming are starting to get into it with the guys from T3 to the top.
Yeah, so I think they're T3 concentrating less on boot camp itself, and I think they're very aware that Ark are now coming in, or perhaps not. Oh, he does know now. But where Team 18 have split, it looks like they might be concentrating just on one side. Whether they're aware of the other two coming down.
I think he's about to get pushed.
Yeah, he's heard him. So we've already had some early action. These guys have already got 2 kills.
And here we go. So getting some rounds from the front now. He's knocked. So Chris is the only member of this team up and running, and getting into it with Psycho. Manages to get the drop on Psycho, but Foxy doing the business there and clearing that one up.
Yeah, some good gunfights from both teams there, actually. But in the end, the 4 players counted. Just avoided.
And here we go, last surviving member of team number 11 now, getting pushed by 12. Not going out without a fight, but yeah, Anger doing the business there. So we've now got Big, squad number 12, and 18 is Arsenic Esports. And they'll certainly be aware of each other's presence. These are the 2 teams that so far are going to be contesting boot camp. We'll just have a quick check on our map. Next circle about to break.
Yeah, so anyone that's on that northeastern island, so 7 atoms. We've also got Team 9 and 19 over on the far west there. Team 9 having to rotate across the bridge. I think Team 19 are well aware that they're doing that, and they're just covering that rotation.
Yeah, were you raised by wolves or something? That island's in the northwest, not the northeast. But yeah, Northwest Island certainly going to be out of it now. It does look like the guys, let's have a look, GC here potentially rotating into the path of one of the TipTop teams, squad number 19. Coming across the bridge, and they've certainly taken some fire.
Yeah, it looks like they've actually retreated away from the edge of that bridge.
Yeah, 2 of their
2 players there.
Yeah, 2 of their teammates taken out.
Yep.
I have to say, always a very risky proposition trying to rotate across that on foot. I tend to go up the top if I'm going to do that.
Yeah. So they're giving up on the bridge idea, and they're going to rotate round and. Well, I'm not sure where they're going to cross. It looks like they're going to try and cross where Team 8 are on the other bridge.
Yeah, away from TipTop and potentially slap bang into the path of 7 atoms. So 7 atoms taking hold of this strategic corner here.
Pine Hand's looking nice and busy as well.
Might just, yeah. We'll just quickly jump down there. Let's have a look. We've got B4V. And Roz.
I think we had these are the guys that were contesting the rooftop and those buildings on Vikendi as well.
Yeah, it is. So obviously, like fighting each other from roofs and in close proximity, these fellas. And Cosmin has come across the river. And looks like Manish has taken some damage. And as has Knight, who's with him. So it looks like Roz potentially looking to push into this now.
Yeah, so we've got 3 players. All 4 are coming in for the push now.
Oh, and a beautiful nade on Ravrex there, followed up by the Molly. So knocked and on fire. His teammate better get on that quickly. There we go. Haven't got a lot of time. Be very surprised if these guys aren't up the stairs. Here we are with Harlu, and yeah, they've come up multiple directions, but he does manage to get the whack onto, and he's dropped 2 of them.
And I thought he was going to use the...
I think he's dropped 3 of them. Hailu there with some incredible gun skills there with the M762 up close and personal. And yeah, I think he's...
Here comes the last player from Team 10.
He's got to get to his teammate though if he wants him back up. And now here we go. Is he going to get the chance? Is he going to get... No, he's got to get into the gunfight, and yeah, going for that res cost him there. It was the right thing to do because his teammate was about to bleed out, but Yushu there really timed that push to perfection. Had to break off the res, and by the time he did, he'd already been getting some shots into him, so timed that one absolutely to perfection. But that was an expensive gunfight for both squads.
It was. I thought he was going to make it then. That was brilliant, taking down the 3 players. And managing to not get blown up by the fuel can that was right at his feet as well.
So we're about to hit our next circle. Now, it's not over here. We've got the guys from Fly Team not too far from this. They'll no doubt have heard all of that, and they don't have to go anywhere because there's our next circle, and they're now edge of zone. A lot of people still to rotate in from the north, but we'll have a quick look at this one.
Yeah, I did see that Team 9 then, GC, they've managed to rotate in where 7 Atoms were, because 7 Atoms have actually headed south and are right with Team 19.
And looking to rotate. Well, are we looking to rotate out of this one? Or are we looking to rotate back into the fight?
I'm not sure what's doing. It might. I think maybe it's rotating to get a better angle.
That's Alpha Wolf knocked, and yes, teammate's still in the water.
So he is. He's trying to. Looks like he's trying to get a better angle here.
His teammate has, in fact, now been taken out.
Yeah, I think now he's going to play a survival game if he can.
Yeah, he's heading back.
So the rest of Team 12, they're going to be hunting him down now. I think they know he came this way.
So that was an expensive phase of play for Arsenic Esports. Some great work there, though, from the guys from Snitch Ravenclaw, lighting it up again. Okay, and potentially we've got the guys from CRB about to bump into our friends from Big. Let's just go and take an early look at that one. And there we go, certainly had a look at that. Beautiful knock and thirst with the M4 spray there.
Yeah, great work with the single clip there.
Oh, but yeah. The favour returned in kind almost immediately.
Yeah. So I wonder if we're going to get a little sort of tit-for-tat battle here with these two teams. Good nade, but doesn't quite connect.
So we're in phase 3 of the game. We're down to 41 players left alive, 14 teams. Circle now starting to close in.
Yeah, so RC Genio, Team 18, he managed to stay away from Team 12, who were looking for him, but he's now having to rotate him from the blue.
Okay, I'm just going to have a quick jump down to the south and west here, because we've got the guys from 7 Atoms potentially rotating into GC.
Yeah, GC, who were struggling to get over when, I think it was 7 Atoms were holding the bridge. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was CM1, sorry, were holding the bridge. And they lost a couple of their teammates.
Out go the nades. Not quite. And CN1 looking to potentially come in and third party this one. And here we go, he's got a look here on a strafe shot. Yeah, puts the knock onto Oxo there.
Yep.
Takes him for the thirst.
Should have time to heal up as well.
In comes a molly, but our friends from TipTop not too far away, and they're moving in. And there we go.
So it's CM1 Zay we saw with the 9 kills in the Miramar game,
Yeah.
and it looks like they're trying to. They're only on 2 team kills at the moment, but they're hunting.
And looks like we've it looks like that's over with actually. So yes, they're okay. So we've got the guys from TipTop. They're closing in on their opponents who fighting with them in that final zone on Vikendi. That's the guys from Gen just off in the distance there. They've got to rotate towards them a little bit, but there is a little bit of separation. They're on the high ground, I think.
Yep. And unusually we see that Ares in a vehicle. We don't see that often on this map. Now, while we're losing the water, so we're not going to get any sort of water finish, but what we have got is quarry still in play, which can be a huge span in the works because of just the height difference.
Okay, and looks like we've got the guys from Fly here getting into it with RS, our winners of game number 2. And great nade there on Pussy, taken, gets a knock, gets some rounds back in return for it though. Ooh,
Yeah,
I think
it looks like we've got, yeah.
I just had a moment, I think I heard a Mark 14.
Yep. A Mark 14 on Sandhawk.
Oh, my word. It just doesn't get any better.
See, for me, I'd be putting a 6 or an 8 times on it, but for you, you'd be sticking a red dot on it, wouldn't you, and using it as an AR?
Oh, yes. Maybe a 2, actually. But on Sarnock, probably a 2.
Here we go. So, RS with the Mark 14. Surprisingly, he's still only got level 1 armour and helmet and everything on.
May well be a second or third go at him.
Yeah.
Not unusual.
So they know there's people around, they're just waiting to see where they are. Not spending long in front of that window.
Okay.
As you wouldn't at this level.
We're just going to have a quick look at the map because we've got lots of guys potentially rotating in late here, and looks like we're starting to get some gunfights out on the edges.
Yeah, so Jen taking some damage there. I think that might have been from the TipTop team. So these guys to the left of the screen now out of zone. So they're going to have to start pushing very soon. But they know there's other squads in front of them.
And yeah, we're in phase 5 of the game now. We've got 21 players left alive.
3 players from Jen there putting in some good damage to the other squads. So Quarry no longer in play.
So Jen just hitting the edge of circle. They're potentially going to be running slap bang into our friends from TipTop.
Right in front of them now. There's already 1 knock established. They're trying to get forever as well. Finish them off. Put some real pressure on.
Forever taken out there.
So you got everyone fighting on the edge of zone. There's nothing in zone. There's no hard cover whatsoever. You might get a few rocks and trees, but there's no buildings left in cover in zone. Sorry. So what have we got? We've got team 13 have still got all 4 players left. But it looks like that's a rarity. I think most other teams have got
but they're certainly getting into it now. That's the guys from 14 putting the hurt into our friends from Rise.
Good work with the Mark 14 there, getting the knock on Zohan from Team 23. And I see Genio from Team 18 is very close to Luti there from Team 23.
And that's Indra, I think, who actually established that knock. But Genio, I think, gets the thirst on. Slightly outside of zone here, but certainly up against it. The guys from Gen starting to push into zone.
So Genio just trying to steal more.
And certainly had a quick look at Ibiza there.
I wonder if the hump of the hill, whether he'll be able to get over that, because otherwise he'll just end up shooting into the ground, giving his position away.
And play zone is now starting to take a toll.
So he knows Isaac's there somewhere. Both just in zone now, and both running as solos. So it looks like I don't know the name, but the player from Team 13 is the sole remaining survivor from that team.
And
He's also the only player in zone.
And that's rounds going in against Jen there, the sole surviving member of squad number 7. Putting some rounds into the guys from Jen, taking a big chunk in. These guys are now out of zone. Next circle has shifted. Doing his very best to get some meds on, but about to be pushed. Manages to get the knock. He's down to only a few hit points worth of damage here. Yeah. And Indra finishing that one up. So we're down to 4 players left alive, 3 teams.
That was great. I mean, he had a 50-50 choice which side of the rock to attack. He chose the right, and unfortunately the player came from the left.
So we have 1 player from squad number 18, Arsenic Esports. We have 2 from Jen.
We had just been taken by
just been taken out by the look of it. Yeah, there was a knock. Obviously didn't manage to get the heal on in time. And that looks like, that's the game over.
And I think that was Genio, who was the solo player.
Was indeed. So, some fantastic work. The zone certainly favoured there, but that was actually very telling. The knock that Jen sort of got there. They had the 2, but one of them was knocked. To trying to get that heal on just as zone was pushing proved absolutely vital. And in the end, the solo player who was safe in zone managed to get the win for Arsenic Esports. So Arsenic Esports take first place with 6 kills. In second place, our friends from Rise, who were the winners of game number 2. They take second place with 2 kills. And in third, we have Jen. And they were really lighting it up, weren't they? That's 12 kills for those guys. So we've got 3 players in the top 3 who are all sharing 4 kills. I've got another one from CRB there. A couple of fellas sharing 3 kills. We'll just have a quick scroll down for you. Another 4 kills there. And nothing else that beats that.
No, I think the zone took out quite a few. We got Roz UCU there on 4 kills as well, but I think the zone took out quite a few players. So we haven't seen the individual, high fraggers like we have in some of the other matches.
No, but that was just some apps. Well, it's very pretty much what we had. Pretty much what we had all the way through all 4 matches. Some fantastic action at the end there. Virtually impossible to follow. Play zone taking it. Everybody coming in. Knocks being established. But interestingly, in games 3 and 4 there, in game 4 actually taking the win. But in games 3 and 4 there, solo players played a huge part in final phases of the game.
Absolutely. And we saw actually in game 1 in Erangel, I can't remember the player's name now, but we did have a solo player that came second. In the end, being in the right place at the right time, making sure, it was snaking in, playing it fairly passive, but as soon as he got the opportunity for a knock or to thirst up a knock, he took it and was there in the final zone and took the win. So, all fair play to him.
Yeah, fantastic. And again, always nice to have wins for 4 different teams tonight, Jamie.
Yeah. So although we've seen roughly the same sort of teams up in the top half and towards the final zones.
Yeah.
We haven't seen one team absolutely dominate, and that's great for us because we get to see lots of different players, and just great action all the way through. Yeah,
it was really great stuff. I think that's probably. I think we've covered TipTop a few times now, but I'd say. I think the first week we did it was very, very good. Second week was a little quieter, but also some technical problems in the way of that one. But this evening it just didn't stop. I think they had their porridge oats, Johnny, as we would have said in my day back in the late 1850s. These guys certainly were up for a fight tonight. And looks like we might have just lost Jamie there for a second. Okay, boys and girls. Some fantastic action from all of you this evening. It was a great pleasure to watch and commentate on.
Sorry, that was my laptop.
That was your laptop, was it?
Yeah,
believe me, if that's the worst technical issue we've had throughout the entirety of the game, mate, I'll live with it.
Yeah. No, well, yeah, what you were saying about the games. I mean, all 4 games are brilliant. We had only a couple of games with it, the slightest lull. The rest of the time, we had real good action all the way through all of the games.
Yeah, yeah, it's really great stuff. And well, really, who we had? What was it? B4V first game. I think second game was Rise. Third game was Gen, and Arsenic Esports taking game number 4. So a good selection of teams, good selection of players. So yeah, go on. If I made you pick on one particular moment there, Jamie, which one would be your highlight of the night?
Oh, blimey! I think actually it was in Vikendi game 3. It was Nexa with the. I thought he was going to heal and just keep healing until he couldn't heal no longer. But actually, that jump shot to come second instead of third, I thought as an individual bit of play that was brilliant.
Yeah, well, it's hard. It's always hard to pick a sort of favorite moments of the evening. Certainly the Clan and Clan gunfight and between the two TipTop guys, the two TipTop squads, which sort of went the way that we didn't think it was going to go, was absolutely fantastic. But I have to say, I mean, for me, certainly in game number 4, Hailu there with the 7.62 close up, getting pushed on by 3 players and dropping all 3 of them.
Yeah,
that was something special with the gunfighting. But then, UCU timed that push up the stairs to absolute perfection. Just as he was trying to get the res onto his teammate, he was about to bleed out. He's up the stairs and he takes Hulu out there. So that was a fantastic gunfight for me.
yeah, I agree. I think maybe if he'd got the squad wipe, that would have been the moment of the night.
Really, you are very exacting, aren't you, Jamie? It takes a lot to please you, doesn't it, pal?
It certainly does. It certainly does. But I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, to knock 3 out of the 4 from the team, that takes some really good going, and to then go and res your teammate. I mean, it's not just good solo play; it's good team play as well. You can't deny it was very good play.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. Anyway, boys and girls, I'd like to thank our host for the evening, TipTop, for, as always, hosting incredibly well run and exciting scrim. I'd like to say thank you to my co-host for this evening, DH Jamie. Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you.
Cool. And I believe we are due to be streaming again for TipTop on Wednesday. So until we see you, please carry on doing what you do best. Looking very much forward to seeing you all on Wednesday. Thank you all for participating. Thank you very much to the people who watched the stream and were active in the stream chat there. Always very much appreciated. So until we see you next time, as always, I'm Vimes177 Gaming. Good hunting and bye for now. Ooh, you all right, buddy?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. That was brilliant.
That was some good shit tonight, wasn't it?
Oh, mate, yeah.
That was something else tonight. I mean, cool. What time is it, man? Half. Yeah, 2. So yeah, that was